So it all started with a 2-week vacation. That apparently was not the case. It started with a lot of video games and a lot of positivity. Even started with haircuts. But unfortunately, that lasted about a day. My grandpa passed away in March, so I figured, hey, a little break would be good, right? Sure, a little break would have been great, but definitely not a year. So unfortunately, on our first weekend, my grandma passed away. So this was really bad. My family was hitting a new level of stress. I feel like this would have destroyed most families. I mean, it really did get worse. My dad had just lost his dad, and then my mom lost her mom. Now my last grandparent got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I think my claim stands that this would break most families, but it turns out our family was different. Sure, it did hit our family hard, but we used this stress to grow. A little bit about my grandparents. My grandfather was the smartest person I ever met. He could make anyone laugh in any situation, and he was one of the most grateful people on earth. He yelled, but that was just him. In just about every conversation, he would end up yelling, but it wasn't in a mean nature, it was just him. He was always the sharpest dressed in the room, too. My grandma was different from most grandmas. She didn't give off the warm grandma feel, but was instead a friend who would pick on you and you would pick on back. She had a fantastic sense of humor and actually loved heavy metal. She was different, and that's what was special about her. I'll never forget pushing her around an Ozzy Osbourne concert in a wheelchair. She was at times the most fun person in the world. I owe a lot to both of them. One thing that was really challenging was not going to the movies. Me and my dad would go to the movies just about every week, so what did we do to fill that void? We did what we always did when we weren't at the movies, and that was fish. We did a lot of fishing because not only did we love fishing, but that was one of the few things we could still do. We fished a lot. I caught some of my biggest fish over quarantine. I caught my biggest perch, my biggest salmon, my smallest salmon, and a lot of fish I'm not used to, like this sheep's head, which felt like the biggest fish you've ever hooked, or this white perch, and I also started fly fishing, which paid off and gave me some amazing fish, like these sunfish or these amazing steelhead. Salmon fishing became my favorite kind of fishing over quarantine. My favorite part about it wasn't actually catching the fish, but it was spending time with family and friends and making memories, and that's the most important aspect of everything. Another thing I got to do was go through a lot of old pictures, and I found some really good ones. I got to spend a lot of time with my pets, and I spent a lot of time messing with them and having a lot of fun with them. We even got a new cat. I also got to go on vacation to the Adirondacks with my family and my girlfriend, and that was a very fun, much-needed vacation. My girlfriend helped me keep sane through all this, and she was amazing as usual, and we got to spend a lot of time together, so that was a big plus. I spent a lot of time eating good food, and I also cooked some great food. One thing that sucked was actually Thanksgiving. The second day of Thanksgiving break, I was at a sleepover, and I unknowingly came in contact with somebody who had COVID. So for the next 12 days, I spent by myself in isolation, living out in the back room of my house. That sucked, and I never want to have to do it again, but it turned out I was COVID-free. Another thing I did was build a roof. I got a few bucks, but I had to work in the snow and rain on a slick roof, and it was back-breaking work. I plan on never doing a roof again. I got to spend more time outside than usual, and I'm really grateful for that. I got to see some amazing sunsets, and I also got to watch these birds hatch and leave the nest. That was a highlight. I'm happy to say my family is doing well. My brother just moved into his first house. My mom just finished another semester for her PhD. My dad has been enjoying life, doing a lot of fishing with me. My sister is doing good in school. My girlfriend and I are about to graduate, and my grandma is doing well, and the cancer treatment is doing its job. This pandemic has brought me a lot closer to my family, and it made me appreciate what I have, and it's opened my eyes. Live every day like it's your last, and don't dwell on the negatives, and instead, use the negatives to grow and be the best that you can be.